Two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Yeah. It's the simple things. Live, laugh, love, Marlon.
Oh, don't say live, laugh, love.
Oh, God, that'd be a good lower abdomen tattoo for me to get.
Like a cock rocker, like right above your heart.
Yeah, like gotta pick my gut up. Holy fuck.
Oh, a live, laugh, love undergut tattoo. It's like when people get an inner lip tattoo that they got to pull the lip down for you to read it.
Holy fuck. Not telling a woman about that live, laugh, love tattoo. Talking about something that put the brakes on things. She's good.
Getting froggy and you pull it up like a gal lifting her skirt up.
She's got both heels on it, pushing it up to get at it. She's like, wait a second.
Does that say live, laugh, love?
Yeah, don't worry about it, baby.
Is that a trick of the light? What is happening?
Worry's not the right word. I just have some questions.
Don't worry about it, baby. Jesus Christ.
It's just like my personal motto.
You whispering, don't worry about it, baby, is maybe the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's cool. It is so many things, but cool is not one of them.
Decidedly uncool. What artist are you gonna get to agree to give you an undergut tattoo? You're paying extra for that.
If they refuse to do it, I'd shame them online and say they're ableist.
Oh, God.
Have an army of fatties picketing in front of their tattoo shop.
Shit. All right, you might actually be onto something.
You know how bad that picket line's gonna stink?
It's hot out.
It's like 62 degrees. We're all belly aching. Wish we didn't do this in the summer. It's March.
Same thing.
One thing I've been doing to keep myself busy this week is I've been wheeling and dealing on Craigslist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you selling or are you buying?
I'm keeping an eye for a couple things, but I've been selling mostly. Got rid of some old stage lights, got rid of some, what else? Got rid of, golly, now I'm blanking. A couple chairs, got rid of, a weight bench. Somehow ended up with 2 weight benches. That's pointless. I don't lift weights.
You don't use one.
Yeah. I don't need 2 things to make me sad. I just need the one to remind me. It's used to dry the clothes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I've been in your house. I don't know that you can spare any furniture. I'm shocked you're getting rid of chairs and benches.
Yeah. The weight benches, that's strictly for clothes drying. Much like, what percentage of exercise bikes in America are used to dry clothes? I bet it's 70.
Yeah. At the very least, drape it over them, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. Just, this is too damp to hang. I'll just let it hang dry here.
I had a buddy in college buy a Bowflex, and we spent all afternoon putting it together one day, and I don't think it was ever used.
Shit.
That was a coat rack.
God, that was probably $1,000 too.
I think it was about $1,200. Yep.
Yeah, I remember when those were a big thing. The first one I remember ads for as a kid was the Soloflex, and then the Bowflex. In the late 90s, early aughts, they were really pushing the Bowflex.
No, I don't remember a Soloflex. I think the first piece of, like, as seen on TV exercise equipment I can remember is the Nordic Track.
Yeah.
Cross-country ski machine.
Yeah. With like a thing that went up against your abdomen to help keep your balance. You kind of leaned into that.
Yep. And then it had the skis that you put your feet in and then cables running to the hand parts.
Jesus, I forgot about that. This was more of a real late night infomercial. Wasn't it the Gazelle? I think the guy's name was like Tony Little. This kind of jack short dude with a ponytail.
Yeah, Tony Little. Just an elliptical machine, basically, wasn't it?
Kind of, yeah, pretty much. Now that you say that, yeah. Just basically running and looked. It was not meant to hold men our size, unless it's made out of space age material.
Every time I've been on an elliptical machine, like I don't react well to it, like mentally. Like every time it's like seeing a dog on a boat. Like I'm so like nervous and like whoop, like I don't have good balance, and now I'm up on this thing. Like it's a bad scene.
always panicking and getting on backwards. Like no, Marlon. No, this is right. I
got a person on each side of me. They're pushing against each other to the middle, just like, no, you're fine.
Yeah. Why would your feet be above your head? No. Yeah. Forearms where the feet go and ankles where the hands go. I got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to hook an ankle up under the up onto the hand, the handle, the bar grip.
Shirt's falling down, so you're getting self-conscious.
It's pulling up. It's riding up. Oh no!
Hey man, would you tuck my t-shirt into my sweatpants? Fuck you, dude. What a thing to ask a stranger.
I don't even work here. I'm just doing this as a fucking courtesy.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Oh man, elliptical machines are no good. I don't like them.
Yeah. I'm an exercise bike boy.
I don't like my dick going numb, Nathan. Yeah. I don't like it.
Learn to embrace the numbness.
That fucking saddle gets to press it on your boy button, as you've called it. All of a sudden, you fucking you're not supposed to get the weird, my foot fell asleep, pins and needles in your horn.
Yeah. Embrace it. Embrace the numbness. That's what I tell people.
Doesn't feel good.
You just wait. It'll come around.
You get off that thing, you're like, did I piss?
Am I pissing?
I couldn't tell if I was.
There's a freedom in this. I am not comfortable.
No, there's not. There's a terror in it. Like phantom limb.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed with my recent dealings on Craigslist, I have now become the dirtbag. It's like everyone that I've sold stuff to far higher standing in life than I am. Like I am you wouldn't believe this shit. Answering the door in fucking basketball shorts and a beat up t-shirt, fucking dog losing its mind. Like, oh shit, yeah, come around to the other side of the house. Like that guy, these people were terrified, like.
I hate to be the one to have to do this, but brother, you've been the dirtbag for a while now.
That's probably true.
Like it's best that you hear it from a friend, but you've been the dirtbag.
Probably oftentimes before I was buying or selling more dirtbag-esque things, so you just saw a more dirtbag person on the other side of the door, so there was a camaraderie. But these people were probably complaining to their spouses, like, well, next time we're going to buy new. I don't need to have to get a fucking tetanus shot.
We don't need this.
We don't.
In our lives, in our mild suburban life.
He breathed on me. I did not like that one bit.
Oh, shit. Yeah, man, maybe throw on something with a collar next time you're wheeling and dealing.
I guess. Gotta get all dolled up for my Craigslist transaction. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to put on airs. I'll embrace who I am.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other route to go, is that one.
The one I'm clearly taking.
The one you've been on for a while now.
But goddamn, I'm giving good deals to honest Americans. I should feel good about that.
I'm just shocked that you're buying or that you're selling and not buying. I think of you as a Craigslist acquirer of goods.
I get. I am a believer. If something can make me decent money and I'm not using it, I like to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's fair. Live that Spartan life.
Yeah.
Still can't believe you're getting rid of chairs when you don't have any furniture in your house.
Yeah. These were not living room chairs. These were outdoors at best. So I wanted to Hollywood Full Spec wants an upgrade, so that's what that $20 will go to.
Oh, nice.
That'll get you a ways.
Yeah, $20. Yeah.
Go to a furniture store with a 20. Remember, I need to get lunch with this, so I can't spend the whole thing.
Here's $20. I want you to put furniture on that flatbed out the side and give me change. I was at Caribou earlier today. I love me some Caribou. I deserve it. I deserve a sweet treat. Been a good boy. And I love Caribou, and it pains me to say anything bad about Caribou, but I decided to try something different. I got my 2 usual coffee orders at Caribou, and I just,
What would they be?
I really like a mint condition mocha. It's like a chocolate and peppermint mocha. Big fan of that. Or I like just a cold pressed coffee with cream and sugar.
There you go. Look at you, a little treat for yourself.
Yeah, but I was there and I was looking at the person ahead of me was taking a long time, so I had too long to look at the options. So I eventually was like, well, let's try something different. And there was a big advertisement for our summer drinks. I was like, oh, summery and fun. The sun is out. I'm wearing shorts. Hell yeah, let's get something fun and summery. So I got a espresso tonic, and there was 5 people behind me, so I didn't bother to ask what it was. I just saw the picture and was like, that looks good. Ordered one of those. Nathan, it is a shot of espresso. It's an ice drink. A shot of espresso dropped into just a big glass of tonic water.
Oh.
And then a little bit of cane syrup, sugar syrup.
Jesus. Who is that for?
Nathan, that might be the worst beverage I've ever had in my life.
Holy shit.
Holy guacamole. I was I drove away from there it's summertime. I got the windows down. I got out of the Caribou parking lot. I took the next right, so now I'm headed down a main thoroughfare. I reach down, I grab my drink, I take a big pull of it, and damn near spit it all over my vehicle. Holy Christ. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
Panic, throw it through the passenger window, but the passenger window's up. You're crossing 8 lanes of traffic, sunglasses falling off, and to get them back on your face. Trying to still sing I'm Walking on Sunshine.
Oh. Fuck my ass. That was a bad drink.
Yeah, wipe it. Wiping your tongue off with a Sonic receipt. Yak, 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 yak.
Ick, ick, ick. I'm doing the little kid shaking the hands yeah, it's hot. Fucking A. And like I said, much like you, Caribou, you need to hear it from somebody that cares about you. That's a terrible drink. It's not good in any way. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like you got yourself a nice big cup of coffee, and then you're in a sitcom or a goofball comedy, and you accidentally, instead of putting milk in your coffee like a normal person, you accidentally poured a can of Minute Maid lemonade into there. That's exactly what it tastes like. And oof.
It'd be interesting to ask them, how many of these do you sell? There's, the barista that is at the window. How many do you sell? Or how many, complaints do you get?
Yeah, that's a bad drink. That's a real bad one. Maybe, It takes all sorts. Maybe, I bet there's someone out there that waits all goddamn year for the summer menu to come around so that they can get their espresso tonic. But fuck me.
Is it like a regional thing? Like, that's known for tasting shitty, but people like it because it's, like they make it in Appleton, Wisconsin, so we drink it in Appleton,
Is it like Malort that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it. I finally had Merlort.
I don't remember if you did or not either. It tastes like rubber bands.
Yep, tastes like burning, boiled, fucking chemical-soaked rubber bands.
Yep.
The fact that that's for human consumption is appalling.
I don't know that it is. I think that's a fucking transmission degreaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't recommend the espresso tonic at Caribou.
Yeah. And you went for it though, because I'm sure there was the strawberry delight, summer squeezins, or something like that. Like some
or
fun
either
fruit
of my
flavor
normal
things.
orders, and I could have just gone with the regulars, but I was feeling good.
You're a young man in the prime of your life, out there running around doing things, weird things in the summer. You decided to step it up.
Try something new, and sometimes when you try something new, it bites you in the ass.
Sometimes you almost total your car. Sometimes you got to pay $200 to get your car detailed.
Now, could you say, why did you order something called espresso tonic and expect it to be anything less than espresso and tonic water? I think I was just giving them too much credibility on their creativity. I thought, that's a fun name for a thing. It's like a tonic, like a tincture.
I'll take extra chocolate chips, please.
It's not a fun creative name. It's the two things that are in the drink.
It's truth in advertising.
That's like ordering a Jack and Coke and being like, hey, this tastes like Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola.
This is real light on the vermouth on this one. Well, there is none.
Excuse me, this one didn't have a lemon wedge in it, sir. Sir. Ugh. Did I drink it all because I am also a tight ass? Yes, I did. And it was fucking excruciating. Ordered a large one, too. Try something new and order the biggest size they got.
Now I'm thinking, picture getting a Jack and Coke where like the Coke is the fountain, the gun is running low on carbonation, so it's real syrupy, and someone puts like one of those fully garnished sticks of like olives and bacon. That's their twist.
Mary
yeah.
Stick.
Oh. God. Just picking out back bacon chunks that are soaked in Coke and Jack Daniels. Oh.
Order a gin fizz and they shove a wedge of a grilled cheese sandwich in the top.
Yeah, I just gotta say it. A White Castle slider on a skewer.
Here you go. Oh, terrible. So, yeah, I didn't have the best of mornings this morning.
Well, it's Friday night. Friday night's coming up. That's your time to put on your Miami dress clothes, real loose, summertime, real thin fabrics.
What do you think I do on Fridays? Like, what kind of Miami Vice linen suit and cocaine lifestyle do you think I'm living?
I was thinking light linen and just letting the city embrace your body.
Maybe
just
like
going out there.
Like a hot pink over-collared dress shirt with a white sport coat over the top of it, and acid wash jeans.
Open-toed shoes.
Imagine this body in that outfit. Holy guacamole.
And just the only rule is I'm not saying no to anything tonight. This is just to see where the night takes you.
The first thing somebody asks is, can you go change?
Yeah. We need you to put this hoodie on. They wrap 3 hoodies around your waist. They got a demeaning.
Daisy chain the sleeves together to get around you.
Holy shit, that suck. People just start calling you coat rack. They're chanting that.
Coat rack, coat rack.
At some point, someone buys you an espresso and tonic at the bar.
Well, I said I wouldn't say no to anything. Oh, it's not good. Weird lemonade coffee. I don't like it at
I don't
all.
like any of this. Yeah, what a combo. Citrus and coffee.
Right? It's terrible. And it's not like the two flavors melded. It just tasted like those two things at the same time in your mouth. It tasted like strong, rich espresso coffee and lemonade. Oh, terrible.
Well, goddamn it, we're not here just for fun and games.
Oh, no, I suppose we're not. It's America's Barley Basket. We're here. We got business to attend to.
Yeah. It can't just be about your exotic lifestyle and my trash lifestyle. We gotta get down to business. We got plans.
Boy, we really are a pair, aren't we? We really are a yin and a yang. I just realized.
We can't leave them we left them on a cliffhanger last time.
We did. We really did. Which we didn't intend, to be fair.
But some stories need time to be told.
Yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed the first half of our worst comedy shows we've ever been a part of list. And today we'll get to the back half. We'll get to the top half, the back nine.
Yeah.
We're going to start we're starting at 5. Going 5 to 1.
There we go. The top 5. You got the back half, now you're getting the front half.
Did I go, I went first last time, right? Is it my turn, I assume?
Yep, it would be your turnings.
Okay. I don't remember things.
All that tonic.
I'm all tonicked up. Number 5, kind of what sparked all of this, Sedan, Minnesota.
Oh my goodness, yeah, real. Talk about ripping things from today's headlines. That show was days ago.
I mean, that show was like 3 weeks ago. But yes, we for sure talked about this on the show back when it happened, less than a month ago. So maybe there's a little bit of recency bias here, but I really took that into account. Like really sat and thought about it. Like, did you... Is it just that it's fresh in your mind, Marlon? But no, critical thinking and applying logic to it. No, that is top 5 material, and it comes in at number 5. We talked. I won't beleaguer it because, like I said, we just talked about it a few weeks ago at the time when it happened. But yeah, just a big empty room with 6 drunks lining the walls, hollering at you while you're trying to tell jokes.
Unbelievable. And then this is an example of where you go in the show can make a difference. Because when I went up, it was still a fairly full room, far too many people being talkative and like looking at their phones and just hooting and hollering and like just acting like they're in a bar and there's not a show going on. Yeah. But I remember thinking, those people will probably leave and then the good people will have a good time, which the exact opposite happened. Like, the good audience members left for the most part.
Yeah. The people that were there for the show left, and you were just left with literally 6 people.
Yeah. Holy moly. One table decent, the other one nightmarish? Is that kind of how it worked?
There were 2 audience members who were listening and enjoying themselves when they weren't being bombarded by the other 4 people talking to them.
Oh, good God. Yeah.
So, like, you'd be looking at them dead in the face, and they'd be reacting to your jokes, and then, like, 4 seconds later, somebody would lean over and start talking to them, and then they were gone again. So you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. So now you're just telling jokes to nobody.
And no, because there was always some manner of participation. There was always somebody. It was one of those, like, you kind of sped up your cadence because if you left so much of a breath, someone would holler like it was participatory.
Oh, God, yeah, where you can't let any silence hang.
Exactly. So you'd be like, I was driving the other day. I drive. I like to drive. Where were you going? Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Probably driving a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, boy, do these people hate Bud Light.
The endless cheeseball Bud Light jokes I hear on the road. My goodness.
Yeah. Thank God.
And there were 4 of us on the bill that night, right?
Yeah, you, me, Jenny, and Chase.
Yeah, and it kept going downhill as the show went on. So this is one of the ones where going first was probably best.
Yeah, you got out early. I remember peeking in while Jenny was on stage right before me, and she was early on in her set, and she was like, "Who got brought here tonight? Who didn't want to come but got brought here?" And a woman raised her hand, and she goes, "Oh, okay, who brought you?" And she points to her fella that she's with and goes, "He did." And she goes, "Oh, okay, but you're having fun, right?" And this woman just deadpan, straight face, hollers back at Jenny, "No, I want to go home."
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That's the kind of show it was.
Yeah, that's not the crowd work you want. That's not the response you want.
Yeah.
like an anguish, not an angry, not a belligerent drunk. I just want to go home. Can't we go home? Why must we do this?
And for reference, she stayed all through my set, too.
Really? So, oh, my God. Unbelievable.
That's number 5.
Yeah. This one crossed my mind, but since where I went, it was just slightly below average.
Yeah, you just had a below average show.
Yeah. You had a nightmare show.
I had top 5 worst of all time.
Yeah. Well, should we take a look at my number 5?
Show it to me. I showed you mine.
Yeah. You want to see my number 5? Here it is, baby. It's a show. It's a show you were on. A show in the Geographical Center of North America, allegedly, Rugby, North Dakota.
Oh, how did I forget about this show? This show is probably on my list, but I forgot this show.
This could be trauma. That could be a trauma your brain realized.
Maybe.
That you don't need this in there, so it just made you forget about it. Like some kind of trauma-based amnesia, because God, this was a dirty one.
My brain might have shoved this one back into the cobwebs for my own protection.
Yeah, you should thank your brain.
Thank you, brain.
It did you a solid. This show was last fall. Remember, we were in Rolette, North Dakota the night before, and that went swimmingly.
Yep, hell of a show.
It was a fun show, fun people. Get to the bar. It's like, this is a bar, all right. And there was this little side room that would have been perfect for comedy. But like, no, we just want you right here in the main bar. And the bar was not built for comedy. Super high ceilings, just a giant tin rectangle. And if you remember, every plug-in was 12 feet off the ground.
Yep, had to go get an extension ladder to plug anything in.
Anything in. It was insanity how high those plug-ins were up there. And it's like, they're not gonna... I think maybe they did kill the TVs, but it was lit like a fucking Christmas tree. For every one person, there was 6 slot machines. It just was so bright. And I think there was like one table that maybe there for it. And you and I each had to do 45, so it was a longer than usual show for us. And did you go first?
Yes, I believe so. I believe I went first, and I'm going to correct you. They muted the TVs, but they did not turn them off. So, and it was rectangular shaped. The bar is on one long side, and we were standing in the center of the other long side, and... The people at the bar were all watching the World Series, because this was in October of last year. Oh, my God. So they're all watching the World Series. So directly across from us, we see, 18 people's backs, and that's all we see. And then there's a few, high-top round tables diagonally from us on either side, kind of flanking us. And those had people watching the show enjoying none of it. Just blank stares.
And like even there was a couple like, I don't know, older 50, 60 something couples that seemed to be trying. They seemed it was like, you know, like a parent that wants to get into the new crazy music that their kids are into. It's like they were trying to listen and they were looking hard. Like it looked like they were concentrating, but like none of it was remotely funny to them. Just a dud. And then there was the one table where there's like, I don't know, there was a gal about my age there that was hammered. And she was just laughing and screaming and talking over us the whole time. Because this was a show where I had a buddy there, so he got to watch this whole fucking travesty unravel. And after the show, she came up and talked to him. And like, oh, well, so what was going on tonight? She was 8 feet away from us, and she didn't know what was going on. It's like, well, it's like they do stand-up comedy. Oh, I bet that was fun. It's like, you were here
like, for the whole thing.
You were actively trying to ruin it. Oh, you guys should come back. Like, I don't think they're gonna have us back.
Yeah, that was one you just felt invisible the whole time.
Yeah.
Like those people were all watching baseball and talking to amongst themselves, and all of the tables flanking. Like you said, there were a few people trying, but for the most part, all talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Like no one knew that we were even there.
Yeah. And another weird aspect of this show, directly to our left, there was a table of 4 younger women, probably like 25 to 30, 35 maybe. In a town that age, that is prepubescent. The average age is 103. So to see people that are remotely our age is jarring, you know? So they're sitting over there. 2 of the gals were probably 2 of the only decent audience members. They chose the worst seat in the house to sit in. They're like almost behind us.
Yeah.
And there was one gal that was like looking at her phone the whole time. And then as soon as I wrap up, she said, hey, before you unplug that, can I do some time? And she did like 5 minutes. And like, it was actually kind of decent. You can tell she'd worked on it, but it's like she came there, ignored our show, and just used it as a chance to get some stage time. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you like heartless bitch. Like, you couldn't act like you gave a shit about the show. Like, give me a break. Like, it was so bizarre.
Doing? Why would you think that you can come to a show and get staged? Like, also, why are you in Rugby, North Dakota wanting comedy stage time? You need to get out of here.
It made no sense. It was very bizarre. And one of the 2 bar owners got proceedingly drunker and drunker and was .20 by the time the show was over, like loudly talking. The other one looked like a gunshot victim. Was just head down on, because I remember like, man, is anyone going to take care of that guy? If I said, no, dude, he owns the place. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he stumbled in, sat down in the bar stool, and immediately fell asleep, like face down on the bar. Like, it wasn't that late.
Not the first time we've encountered that in small towns either. Like crippling alcoholics should not own bars.
Yeah, that is true. We've had a few of those. Yeah.
But we have run into so many where that's exactly the case.
Now, another cherry on top for this one is you got to drive home 3.5 hours alone. Just got to let that stew inside you.
Yeah. After having to kill all day in Rugby, North Dakota. I don't know if you knew this, but it's fucking hard to kill a whole day in Rugby, North Dakota.
How many times do you take your picture in front of the Geographical Center of North America?
None, because it's like on the other side of the highway, and that just seemed like a lot.
I'm pretty sure.
I went to their like junk antique store and poked around at a few things. Then I think I just drove around for like 10 hours. It was a day.
Yeah, you had time to kill for sure. Yeah, but it was all worth it.
No, it wasn't.
Got to bring some joy. There was one woman that was awake for like 8 minutes, and she really got a kick out of your set.
Oh, that's good. I hope she's doing well.
Yeah. God, that was one of those. It's like everyone was so drunk. It's like, who's going to pay us?
Yeah. That's the amount of times we have to ask ourselves that question is pretty alarming. Is anyone sober enough to write a check? Let's move on to my number 4, one that you were there for, along with our friend Josh DeLay. This is one, much like last week I mentioned Lemon, one that you think bad show, this one pops in your head as like, oh, this was a tough one. I would have thought higher, but again, applied the logic, ends up at number 4, Velva, North Dakota.
Oof. Yeah. Insanity.
I know that rings true for you. Bar the size of a goddamn airport hangar. Like, looks like it should it's used to store fucking combines. Like 11 fucking combines. And big old corn headers.
Like a decommissioned Air Force base. They just decided to put a bar in it.
Enormous. Lots of tables, stage in the corner, big like dance floor area. It's got tables set up there. Delightful couple who owns the place. Delightful lesbian couple who runs the place. And we were there, so we got there kind of early. Was that a fucking 3-night weekend? You, me, and Josh out on the road?
Yeah,
I believe
it was.
So.
Yeah.
And so we got there like well ahead of time because we allowed plenty of drive time because the weather was bad. It was like the first ice storm of the season, like one of those late fall. It rains and then freezes, and then it freeze rains all day.
Yeah.
So we got there way ahead of time. Like just hung out in a gas station for like 6 hours, partying like we do.
Yeah.
And,
extravagant lifestyle.
Yeah. And go and get set up, and we're not sure how the turnout's going to be because of the weather. And to be fair, we were right. The turnout was terrible. I assume because of the weather. There's like, I'm going to say half a dozen people at the bar not realizing there's a show, talking amongst themselves. Old timers, old men at the bar. And then I'm going to say 3 other people just scattered throughout this enormous fucking college sports facility. And then right in front of the stage, dead center, 6 of the drunkest people you've ever seen in your life.
Yes, we have seen drunk people.
But not like this. Oh, no. Boy. And our buddy Josh goes up there and just eats dicks for his whole set. Like, gets into it. No, I'm getting ahead of myself.
They sure are.
Before the show starts, Nathan goes up there to give the rules, the introduction, and the rules of, like, turn off your cell phones, yada, yada. And is getting heckled during this opener and has a holler and spat with one of the drunks.
Yeah, before the show has started.
Before Nathan has brought up the first comedian.
I've had enough. I just had enough, and I rarely get to that point, but, like, poor Josh, that's what he gets to come into. Like, an already hostile environment.
Yeah. Josh goes up there, and they're terrible to poor Josh. Hollering at him, like I said with the people of Sedan, like participating, like answering jokes, as if the setups are conversation starters, which they're not. I don't know if you know how comedy works.
Yeah.
He gets through his set. I'm gonna miss some details that you can come in after and fill in if you need to. I think I went up second, and the thing I remember about this show, you stand up there and you see that empty expanse of fucking bar.
Because there is a stage, which we don't often get, but this allowed you to have you could see the whole place, and it was very empty.
Yeah. I can't drive home how non-hyperbolic I'm being when I describe the size of this building. It looks like where they store the Ark of the Covenant and all the rest of the nondescript wooden boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, there should be a forklift bebopping around in there.
Exactly. And I remember at one point, like I was wearing a I was wearing a bandana tied around my wrist, like I often do, so I can reach up and like dab some fucking sweat off myself because I'm a sweaty boy. So I often wear a bandana tied around my wrist. Could I buy sweatbands? Sure, but I like how a bandana looks. So, and I was like in the middle of a sentence, and one of those drunks in the front just goes, "Hey, what's that bandana for?" Like as if, like, I felt like a fucking librarian reading to first graders. Like, why is the duck blue? You know?
Yeah. I want a duck.
Why didn't the caterpillar go to the other apple? Like, and I was just befuddled. I was like, what the fuck? And so I remember I was already like feeling prickly, so I fired back. Don't worry about it. It covers up a Nazi tattoo.
Yeah.
and with his big, dumb, doughy, drunk eyes, just like, really? I was like, no, fucking idiot. It's so I can dab fucking sweat off my forehead. And he goes, and then just like there wasn't hostility. He's just like, oh, okay.
Like he's just genuinely curious.
Yeah, like I accept that explanation.
Yeah, continue.
It's not a press conference. Like he said, okay, and I gave it a beat, and I was like, is that all? Can I continue? Like, do you have any other questions? I got through it and then went and sat at the back of the room. I don't even remember what your experience was like on that show because I had fully fucking checked out at that point.
I think I had the best of it. I think some of the shittiest people had just either passed out or left.
Okay.
And I realized it was going to be a nightmare, so I was deep in the catacombs of that giant place. So I missed it when there was all the fireworks during Josh's set. What's the bit about again? How does it lead in? It's about Jimmy John sandwiches. And
I forget exactly what part of Josh's bit about having sex with a sandwich that this guy took umbrage with.
Because it's like, oh, it's Jimmy John sandwiches. I'm paraphrasing here. Jimmy John sandwiches don't come freaky fast. You know what comes freaky fast? Me, when I got my dick inside of one of those sweet Jimmy John sandwiches.
Which is funny. That's a good joke.
There's this 30-year-old drunk, piss pants drunk guy's like, I'd eat that fucking sandwich. Like, as if he's like being like hostile, like we're daring him. And Josh is like, you'd eat my cum sandwich? Fuck yeah, I would. Fucking eat fucking could cum in me. Like, what is happening? Like, and then this big burly dude's like, that's about enough, Dennis, and just grabs that guy and drags him outside like he's Dino dropping Fred out the window when it's pork chop night. He's just taking control of the situation. And I finally had to bring it up. It's like, hey, what's the story with that guy that got? That's Dennis. When he gets hammered, he turns a little gay. It's like, that ain't how that works. He's gay.
I hate to break it to you guys.
His defense falls down when he's drunk, and that's when the cum craving comes in.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And just how it's like, yeah, he does that every night. Like, well, he needs help on fucking many different levels.
Imagine what a tortured existence that is to go through that every night.
Christ almighty, imagine if he's married. That poor fucking wife.
Small town, I'm sure he is. No one's single in a small town.
And that was the night, too, when fucking Josh was just getting a beer, and this guy comes up and just starts screaming about Biden and Bush and just all this and this.
Like, maybe my favorite moment with our friend Josh DeLay, like maybe my favorite Josh thing I've ever seen. I came out of the bathroom, and this tall, I'm going to say 24-year-old hillbilly kid is talking to Josh at the bar, and I go walking up, and I get to them just as that tall, skinny kid goes, and then fucking Biden And Josh, in the smoothest deflection, the smoothest, like, ole that I've ever seen in my life, Josh just goes, yeah, I know, right? So do you like snowmobiles? and that drunk hillbilly kid just fell right into the trap. Just, fuck yeah, Polaris, woo! That was the smoothest transition, the smoothest deflection I've ever seen anyone execute.
Like a laser pointer and a cat just instantly worked.
And just all in one run-on, zero punctuation sentence. I know, right? So do you like snowmobiles?
So great.
Amazing. That is a Hall of Fame Josh DeLay moment.
Should we jump into my number 4?
Do it. Give it to me.
My number 4 is in a beautiful Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh,
It's a stomping
I've been
ground. Yeah. It was the summer of probably 2021, late summer, August, whenever things were kind of opening up again, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like kind of after that first wave of shots and like bars could do shit again. And a fellow Fargo comedian, and that we've known, I get along with him fine. A guy we'll call Party Dude, because that is the persona he used to go by. Party Dude fancied himself a comedy promoter for a hot minute, and decided to do a comedy show at the hotel bar he worked at. Mm-hmm. You weren't on this. I don't know if you've heard many of the details, but it was like, okay. And I remember messaging me. I was kind of nervous because I'd only done 1 or 2 shows since COVID, so
a little rusty.
So I was like, okay, this is coming up. I got there real early, and I was like, hey man, like if you want, I got all my sound shit. We can check things, we can check shit. It's like, no, I'm good. We're good. I checked it all. I am skeptical, but by God, if he said he checked it here, he checked it, and God damn it, if we didn't get a good turnout. Tiny little side room in the bar, kind of a decent little area for comedy. Mm-hmm. Fucking 40 people there probably in a small room. 30, let's say 30 to 40. Fucking
not bad for Fargo in the summer.
Yep. Oh my God, yeah, they throw in the summer, exactly. And I knew it was going to be something else of a show because Party Dude went first and did 20 minutes of what is always the most insane fucking nonsense. I walked away and got a drink at one point, came back, and he was in the middle of doing a bit about either Yoda's eating him out or he's eating Yoda out, and it's a lot of Yoda voice, a lot of real salty talk, and the audience is all just with like death masks, just the revulsion frozen. And in the middle of all of this, is our mutual friend Megan, who is laughing so hard she is seconds away from having a hernia. Just dying in a way I envy. I haven't laughed that hard in my life. Like, people are looking at her like, does she need help? Does she have a handler? She has to be deranged. No one would laugh at this.
Our friend Megan is a good laugher. Our friend Megan is a good person to have at a show.
Oh my God, yeah. So he finishes up his 20. And another friend of ours, a man named Gary, goes on stage. Gary, wonderful man, older than average comic. I think he's like retirement age. He goes up there, and we're supposed to each do 20 minutes. And that's when the sound system starts petering out. And fucking he talks for 40 seconds, then the mic dies for a minute. Talks for 40 seconds, and right away he doesn't realize it. He's a very soft-spoken guy, so he's up there talking, and like no one can hear, but he doesn't realize it. So someone has to be the person that hollers and say, hey Gary, we can't hear you. And fucking Party Dude's running battery after battery after fucking battery. And then it finally started to dawn on me during this fucking nightmare. It's not the fucking batteries. It's that we're 1.5 miles away from wherever this wireless mic is supposed to be getting a signal from.
Too far from the receiver.
Exactly. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's not going to fix anything. And then there's like some construction workers, some road construction guys that are there because that's the hotel they're staying in during this thing, I'm sure, and they're getting hammered and eating dinner at the bar. And where they're at, they can still listen to the show. So they just start loudly heckling, like, what the fuck is this? Like, which, to be fair, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, poor Gary fucking is just doing. I'm like, I want to like throw a fucking be like fucking Arnie Scalan and throw the fucking white towel in for fucking Backlund in the camel clutch. It's like holy shit, Gary, this doesn't need to happen. Gary, you're a successful businessman. You're retired. You don't need this, but by God, he stayed up there. The fucking mic is for every 10 seconds it's working. It's not working for 50. So it's just a nightmare. And Gary talks so softly. And then mercifully, his time is up, and I am red fucking hot. So I go up there.
Because you're last. You have to.
No, I'm not even last.
Oh, God.
I'm up next. I'm fucking furious. I go up there, and I love Party Dude's a nice guy. He didn't mean for this, but I go up there, I just fucking rip Party Dude a new asshole for like half an hour. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Just like commenting on the ridiculousness of all this. And for some reason, the mic is now working. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, I'm actually going to have a decent time. I get into my set. I have some new shit I'm working on. I'm excited about. Then the mic goes out. Like, you got... It's like, it gave me enough to set the hook, you know? Like, I put my defenses down, I'm gonna have a nice show, and then it won't work. And I'm like, fucking, it's like, now it's cutting out in and out every 3 seconds. It's like,
Yeah,
like
that constant in and out.
And I'm like, in the middle of all this chaos, fucking Party Dude bursts through the crowd like a fucking fullback. He's carrying some big device, and he sets it down. It's like a fucking Hello Kitty fucking karaoke system. Like, he hands me this big plastic mic. It's like, what the fuck is this? And he turns it on, and there's like a backbeat, like a tunka 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 tunka. It's like, what is going on? Dude, this isn't a microphone. Like, oh my fucking God. I think and then he just sloppily grabs it, fucking knocks over some tables, and runs out of there with it. Like,
Jesus Christ.
oh my fucking God. So I finished my time. I'm like, fuck this. And I give the mic off to Tim Jones, who finished the show. He just set the mic, or turned the mic off, I think, and just screamed his jokes, which was the thing to do to make
That's
the
the way to
best
go,
of a bad
actually.
situation. But I was just too mad. I think if it would have been anyone else but Gary, I could have handled it. But like, this is elder abuse. I do not like this at all. Oh my God.
I cannot get enough of the visual of you with like a toy karaoke mic. Just with some beep bop boop boop beep bop boop boop in the background.
Talking into a Hello Kitty head. Oh. Incredible. Incredible.
All while our friend Megan loses her mind laughing.
Oh my God. And wouldn't you know, you walk 30 feet closer to the receiver, the fucking mic works perfectly.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I had all my sound system. This all could have been avoided.
Holy shit.
Oh,
God
my
damn
God.
it, that's funny.
That was one. It's like, do I need to come back to comedy? You know, like,
I could just not come back and blame COVID. Like, we're given this golden excuse where we didn't quit, COVID made us quit, you know? Like, but you fought back against it, and that's how you were welcomed back into comedy's bosom. How is that your number 4?
Bro.
I am excited for the rest of your list. Mine, number 3, we're not going to belabor too much because I feel like we really talked about it last week. Yankton, South Dakota. Your number 6, I believe?
Yeah, it was my 6. Yeah.
My number 3, Yankton, South Dakota.
That's wild that that's your 3.
Yeah.
Because you looked fucking... I should have taken it. I've never seen you look like that. You looked shook and not scared. Not even shook, like, just like you've been living in someone's cellar against your will and you've been brought out finally.
I've never seen the sun before.
Yeah.
Like walking out of a fallout bunker.
Oh my God, what a show.
Just ridiculous. Fucking everyone.
The drunk husband fucking baby hewing it on stage while I'm fucking trying to tell my jokes.
All these drunks just hollering at the Cornhuskers game.
Yeah.
God
Drunks.
bless the 5 people who were trying to watch the show that I could play to.
Or the best is the people that were just there eating chicken fingers and drinking a Diet Mountain Dew, because they're there for the game. Like,
Right.
Oh, our chicken fingers are done. The game is over. We will leave.
Yeah.
I don't know why this man is screaming into a microphone. I guess he has problems.
And I tried, like, because it's like the cheers or boos never timed out perfectly to where, like, it would be like, punchline, and then Nebraska scores a touchdown, so everybody cheers, and then I can make a joke about, you really liked that one, huh? Like, it never timed out that way. It would just be like a boo in mid-sentence, halfway through a prepositional phrase, and you're just like, oh, fuck. Well,
This was unfortunate.
like I said last week, it was like playing Frogger. You can never get any forward momentum. A lot of back and forth, duck and dives, and just slowly work your way across.
Oh my God, yeah.
A true nightmare.
That's a good thing to read in the reviews.
And to this day, it makes me laugh when I watch Deadwood, because in Deadwood, and this was true in that period of history, the territory government was based in Yankton, South Dakota. So anytime they're talking about the government or the feds or the bigwigs and fat cats, it's always like Ian McShane talking about, those cunts in Yankton. It's like, tell me about it.
Yeah. They don't like comedy.
Did they own a bar and not turn the TVs off, Ian McShane? Is that what happened?
Ready for my number 3?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Fucking, this is one you weren't a part of. We're hitting a run where you haven't been a part of these, but it is probably 2018, 2017, perhaps. Our poor, unfortunate friend Josh was on this show. Me, Josh, and Jan Severson. Garrison, North Dakota. Just typical small town, got 2 or 3 bars, just north of Bismarck. Everything seemed normal. Hell, everything seemed better than normal. Mm-hmm. This is kind of early on in us doing these shows. We got there. They had a stage. They had stage lights. I'm like, look at this. And we set up the gear. We got there plenty early. I remember I was like, we're going to have a good night. And to Jan's credit, it's like, I ain't got a good feeling about this. It's like, you're just being pessimistic. Like, I don't know. I can't shake it. I remember as we were walking out, I'm sure they were going to go out to smoke. I just wanted to get some air. There was like 3 couples, probably in their 30s. And they're like, you know what? We were going to go to the movie, but we heard there's comedy tonight. So we're just going to stay here. Like, well, that's what you want to hear. And the show was picking, like, 10 minutes before showtime, fucking the place was filling up. Whole bar rail was full. And the tables, looking back, were all perfectly round high tops. Perfectly, like, bigger high tops. Could seat 6.
Okay.
Like a big old wagon wheel high top, if that makes sense.
Like spools.
Yep, exactly, yep. So not even a full no, they were high tops. They were a tall chair. And got it packed. We got one little table way in the far corner for ourselves. And fucking kick the show off, and nobody turns around. They all just sit in their circles and talk. And like, I kind of mentioned it during the rules, didn't fucking matter. They just sat there and talked, except for the 8 people at the bar closest to us on the corner of the bar who had drank themselves into a demon frenzy. Like, they're like screaming at us in tongues. And like, couple angry, couple confused, the rest smiling and jolly. Like, it's like, what is fucking happening?
I wish people could have seen the tongue motions you were just making. It was...
That's Patreon material.
Yeah, yowza.
And fucking... again, no one's listening except the people that are so drunk they can't process fucking speech anymore. And Josh gets off the stage. I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I'm sorry. I bombed. I'm like, brother, what could you have done?
What a sweet boy. What an angel boy that Josh is.
And I remember I had to do 35. That was the first time I'd ever done more than like 25, 30. And I was like, how the fuck am I? So I just Jan went up there, ate shit. And I got up there and the goblins were just out of their mind. And like but like 7 minutes in, the goblins left to all go smoke at the same time. And that's when I realized the goblins are our only friends in the bar. Then it's just the most uncomfortable. Like there's plenty of soft, pleasant conversation. No one is looking at us. We're on a stage with fucking lights. I remember at one point in time, I said out loud, I could just be up here reading Mein Kampf and no one would fucking notice. And that didn't even get a twitch. I didn't get a twitch out of anyone. And
Didn't
then I get into
a single ear. You brought up Mein Kampf.
on a paid gig.
In central North Dakota, Germans from Russia country.
And at one time, a new table sat down and they were kind of into it. I'm like, look at this. Holy shit. Maybe the last 15 minutes won't be so bad. And that's when the Goblin Squad came in from their cigarettes and they were out of they had to have been like huffing ether or sniffing fucking bovine strength Adderall pills or something. Like they were like little kids. I remember this one little tiny scrawny older man now they ruined it by screaming so much that the table that actually gave a fuck, they're done. They're like, hey, we'll just turn around like everyone else is. And this guy is like taking bashful steps. Hey, I got a joke. I am on stage telling jokes. And I look around. It's like, fuck it. Hey, buddy, tonight's your lucky night. Come up. And he fucking drunk stumbles on stage. He looks out at the crowd, gets nervous, and then leans in and whispers the joke into my ear. I'm like, no, motherfucker. You're telling that joke. And he was so shook by it. He just stammered the first half of the setup and then just hopped off stage and fucking waddled to the bathroom, and we didn't see him the rest of the fucking show.
Fuck that guy, you coward.
What? Yeah, my God.
How indicative is that, though, of the heckler mentality of, you sit out in the crowd and fucking holler all you want. You stand up here and try to do what I'm doing and you'll shit your drunk pants.
Yeah, more than you normally do.
More than you already have.
Yeah. So, and then finally the show mercifully came to an end. No one gave a fuck. No one was mad. They didn't even give a fuck. It's just a real, an acoustic guitar show, no one was paying any attention, So fucking went to get paid. The bar owner, she's pleased as punch because the fucking place is packed. That was a lot of fun. Fucking was it?
I love that.
At one time, she's giving me a check or the cash or whatever, and we're about to leave, and she's like, I've been to comedy shows in Las Vegas, and people look at the stage and they laugh at the jokes, as if it's a funny, interesting thing. Isn't that something?
As sometimes if it just occurred to her,
It's sometimes if you would have done anything to encourage that, we would have appreciated it.
Yep.
Oh, maybe just a quick shush to the end of the bar. Oh my God.
Yep.
That one.
Who keeps the wheels on the bus in those situations? The venue.
Yeah. They couldn't be bothered, I guess. I guess when you gotta fucking mix 7 drinks an hour for the power drinkers at the end of the bar.
I am happy to have missed out on that one.
We went back.
Why?
And
why do you do this to yourself?
Smaller crowd, but actually kind of gave a shit. So it was a C+ show. And then, but that time the crowd was so small, we've never been back. She just was I didn't draw as many people as I had hoped. I'm okay. I'm not going to beg to come back here.
Right.
It's the fact that this was a foul tip and we feel like it was a win, that's a sign we've been... Oh my goodness. Yeah, that one was one for the ages. That's why it's a top 3.
Yeah, that sounds like a top 3 to me. Jesus. We're getting down to it. Number 2, I went back and forth on this. My number 1 and my number 2 swapped places on my list 35 times.
I am so glad we didn't reveal these to one another.
Yeah, me too, because I'm curious if this is on yours, and there's not very many slots left for it to be on there. Actually, I know for a fact that this one isn't on yours because you weren't on this show. There's a good chance you weren't doing comedy yet.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yep. I was wondering if there'd be any shows from, days of yore on your list that predate me.
I believe, I'm double checking my list real quick. This is the only one on my list that you weren't a part of. Which goes to show how much I rely on you for stage time.
And how many fantastic comedy shows I book.
Yes. Yeah, I never thought about that. But yes, it does not speak super well to your abilities as a booker.
We're a quantity over quality here at...
Boy, you could put that on the fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
This show, I'm going to say late 2016, maybe early 2017, here in Fargo, at a delightful bar that no longer exists. Pour one out for the Nestor.
Yeah.
Which was the diviest of dive bars. Like everything smells like piss. I once suplexed a buddy through a table in that bar and was not asked to leave. Just a real rowdy place. Like the kind of bar where, it's attached to a liquor store and they cash checks. So by all means,
yeah.
Come on in. Taking all comers.
Come on your Friday payday and leave that night literally penniless.
Yep. But then had a, I don't want to say side room because it wasn't divided, but a side section of the bar with a good stage and a decent size dance floor. And they booked a lot of, metal shows and tech shows or techno shows and the occasional comedy show. Fucking Doug Stanhope played the Nestor once upon a time.
There was a moment they were booking national level music acts too. I kind of remember that time frame.
Yeah, fucking is it DJ Sid from Slipknot played that stage.
Oh, really?
They had somebody good booking it. But the place was just terrible. So I was asked by our buddy JD to come and do a show, and it was, this idea always looks good on paper, and it's always a terrible idea to combine comedy and music. And it was going to be, if I'm remembering right, I think it was band, comic, band. So you were doing in between sets. If I might be getting it wrong, but I think that's how it was supposed to be. So we go. It's metal bands, but not big metal bands. Unknown heavy metal bands. And at the time, I was working at a tech place, and I was just starting to feel myself in comedy. I was comfortable enough that I invited some coworkers to come to the show. And two of my coworkers came to the show looking extremely out of place in this get hepatitis or get stabbed dive bar. And these are two tech support guys.
Yeah.
in pea coats and shirt and tie kind of look.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Just together at a table, just heads on a swivel, just constantly, just a look of fear. They look like owls looking around.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of people at the bar, and the bar is off to the side. You can see it from the stage, but it's largely off to the side. And I'm up there. I'm only doing, I think, 5 minutes, maybe 10, but I think 5. And I'm telling jokes to an empty dance floor, a huge square empty dance floor. The wall opposite from me are the bands who are going to play, who are not here for the comedy. They're watching, but not enjoying it at all. The only other person at the show is, I'm going to say, 62 years old and hasn't been sober in 35 years. like that kind of alcoholic, like a truly pickled old man. Like, has definitely been here since 10 a.m. every day for the last 15 years. He is standing, it's a tall stage. Like, if you were to stand at the stage, it would be like tit high. Like, it's a tall stage. And he is echoing the last 4 words of everything I say.
Oh.
Like, if I say, so I was driving down the street the other day, he would immediately follow up with, street the other day. Loudly.
What the hell?
Like, louder than me, and I'm holding the microphone.
Do you think he was doing it to be a dick or just didn't even realize how fucking rude he was being?
I don't think he is aware of anything that's happening around him.
It's like his brain is slowly dying, so it's like that's weird malfunction.
I think that's his brain running diagnostics, like to make sure, like, can we hear it? Yep. Can we say it too? Yes, we can. Okay. All systems go. And I just grit my teeth through it for the first several minutes before finally being like, hey man, can you like fuck off or whatever I said to this guy. And it's long ago enough now to where I don't remember whether or not he fucked off. And I don't remember how JD did either, because I was so shell shocked by the end of that 5 or 10 minute set. And it's one of those, it has all of the staples of what we've talked about earlier in this list. A, too young to know how to like too new at comedy to know how to handle this. Yeah. And B, people are there.
Yeah.
Like, the next day at the office was so fucking awkward.
Oh my God.
Like, that was
so great.
Yeah, Marlon, that was something. It's like, you don't have to, don't fucking...
Yep, yeah, save it. You don't have to.
Yeah, don't placate me. That was terrible. I would say number 2 of the most terrible.
Yeah. Now that we're putting numbers in front of these.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That place has since been torn down, and that's too bad.
How do you think the bands, what kind of reception did the bands get?
I have no idea. I didn't stick around, I don't think. Maybe that's why I don't know how JD did. I bet I left.
Just went and got a good cry in your car and went home.
That's usually how I left that bar. Yeah. Yes. Good old crying drive.
Yeah. So we're up to my number 2. It is also in Fargo, North Dakota. It is also involving a local comedic force known as Party Dude. It was...
Oh boy, 2 in a row, huh?
Yeah, Revenge of the Party Dude. This one actually predates the other one. This was right before COVID shut everything down. It's like the winter of 2019, 2020.
Okay.
And me and our mutual friend, Joe Christensen, were doing some shows in North Dakota on the weekend, and Party Dude's like, hey man, I'm starting this Sunday showcase, man. It's going to be awesome. You should do it. Be on the first show. It's like, you know what, man? Talk to Joe. We're going to be in town Sunday morning. Let's just stick it out, do that show, and then drive home late that night. And we do. And are there a lot of alarm bells going off? Like, well, it's a Sunday night show. Those are not very successul.
No,
it's at the Pickle Parrot.
That's a red flag also.
Pickle Parrot makes people scared and sad. But like, also the man who wrote our theme song, Chase Rader, was on the show, and the aforementioned Tim motherfucking Jones. So it was a 4 lineup, 4 friends. We'll have fun. We get there thinking like, well, this will be a good time. And Party Dude is like militant. But you know what? It's his first show. He wants to run it tightly. It's like, whatever, man. But he's like, all these like barking at us, like all these rules and stuff. And like, eventually we're just like, LOL, and just look away from him and just go fucking sit at the bar and drink tap beer, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to listen to this, you know? Like, and we got there plenty early, and he proceeds to get fucking hammered. Like, this is going to be something. And like, I don't know, maybe 7 people showed up. 4 of which are just there because the tap beer's cheap, and they're confused why they had to pay a cover. And part of you tells Joe, hey, you got to watch the door. If anyone comes through, they got to pay. Joe's like, LOL, okay. So he's just looking at his phone the whole time. I remember I had to go talk to somebody outside. Kind of lost track of time. So when I walk back in, the show is in full kickoff. I walk downstairs. It's a basement bar. I walk down the stairs, walk in. It's a big, big room. Again, 7 confused people scattered. And I'm looking at their faces. And their faces look like they are in a courtroom. And a child murderer is reading like a breakdown of the murders, like in just gruesome, like they're like faces, like every once in a while, like something will shock them or disgust them. So again, and it's him, it's Party Dude on stage, just going on about eating out Yoda or Yoda eating out him and doing the Yoda, just and rolling on the floor, eating out Yoda, getting eaten out by Yoda. I don't remember the details, but just screaming into the mic, 0.20 drunk at this point. And I'm just looking at all these terrified faces, but then I catch in the corner of my eye, look, there's our friend Chase staring at me with a smile like a 3-year-old that is going to get adopted. Like they have their forever home. The joy in his eyes, like it was Christmas morning. Because Chase enjoys a train wreck as much as the next guy. So he's it was like one of those, finally someone's here that can enjoy this with me.
Like, are you seeing this?
And fucking Party Dude, and every time Party Dude goes up on stage, he's like, are you ready to have a fucking party? Who wants to fucking party? And like, it's like 7 sad people. Like, ooh, I can't.
Sunday.
Yeah. It's like, I can't fucking hear you. It's like, bro, this isn't a fucking Static X concert. You fucking meatball. Just shut the fuck, get the next person up. Like, and I think Chase went up next. And then Party Dude tries to do time between the comics. The fucking show's already like an hour and 45 minutes long before I'm about to hit the stage.
That's too long.
It was Chase, then Tim Jones, and then me. And Tim, very bombastic guy. Tim kind of won over the few people. It's like, okay, we have a show going now. And then as I'm about to go on stage, Party Dude's like, hey man, the owner wants us to take like a half-hour intermission. Which, if there's any comedians out there, you know that is the death knell for a comedy show. And like, so we have to take a half-hour break so fucking Party Dude can puke. Someone fucking has to shit, I'm sure. Because now there's like 2 power drinkers, I think they were like a homeless lesbian couple. They came in a few times just to drink. And like Party Dude is like screaming at them because they didn't pay they are out of their minds. They're not going to pay a cover charge. Like they do not know what's happening right now. They are very under the influence. So he's in the audience like fucking trying to like have a battle of wits with these 2 women. It's like, what is happening right now? And like the 3 friends or people that I know that were there like, hey man, like, I'm sorry, but like I've been here for like 3 hours. There's like that's a work night. Like I get it. So I finally go on stage. Fucking nobody left except like the fucking glue sniffers and power drinkers and fucking Party Dude. And fucking
that's my favorite Hank 3 song.
Yeah. And fucking Joe has to follow this. So I fucking finish my time. And fucking fucking Party Dude goes up. I might be getting it wrong. I think this is that he went up there with like 2 shots in each hand and like fucking took him and got him all over his face and in his eyes and shit. He's like choking like myself. Joe. Fucking Joe walks up to 2 people applauding. Like someone's eating the fucking siding off the walls. They're so out of their minds. Like, and he just does his time and then fucking Eric, it's finally mercifully over. Eric goes up and is like, fuck yeah, wow, like fucking, I can't fucking hear you. He's like, there's no one left, you fucking buffoon. Who's gonna, like, why are you screaming so much? And fuck it, he finally gets off stage. He is so fucking drunk. And he stumbles, and the fucking owner is there, and he's like, I think that went well. I'm like, what is happening right now? What are we on TV? Or is this punked? Like, this can't be like, and fucking, oh my God. And fucking Eric's trying to figure out the money. It's like, bro, what money? Like, we could split $15 5-6 ways, you know? Like, oh my God. One thing with Eric, he was always good. If it was a piss poor turnout, he always gave the comics, you know, he didn't take a fucking. So Eric was awesome, or Party Dude was awesome that way. Guess I better keep it with the name I'm calling him.
Well, I mean, you said Eric 6 fucking times.
Yeah.
So.
Did I? So Eric, aka Party Dude. So we got and fucking Joe and I got in the car, and we had a long drive to Minneapolis. We laughed. I mean, hard, aching belly laugh for like 45 minutes. And it's like, it was so worth it. That show was it's on this list, but it was such a shit show that like right when you'd be done laughing, one of us would remember another insane detail, and it would just start all over again. Like, I was like, we gotta pull over. I'm gonna fucking throw up. I'm laughing too fucking hard. Like, incredible.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't regret missing that one either.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. My number one worst comedy show of all time. Again, boy, did it swap places back and forth with that Fargo Nestor show quite a few times when I was putting this together. But I think my grand champion is Harvey, North Dakota. Now, we've had 2 horrendous shows at Harvey, North Dakota, but this is the second one.
Yeah.
So the first time we were there, it was Black Friday. It was the day after Thanksgiving. They booked a comedy show figuring lots of people will be back in town for Thanksgiving. Come on out for Friday comedy show. Should be a great turnout. And it was an exceptional turnout, except for the room where the comedy show was. And the room where the comedy is and the rest of the bar, not exactly airtight between the two. So it was just people loudly enjoying themselves over this way. And then in this room, no one laughing, but like a couple of like older ladies occasionally hollering something.
Yeah. And boy, would we miss those 2 at the next show.
Yeah. So when asked to go back a second time, I think I put up a little bit of a fight, but I was like, you know what? That last one, maybe that was a fluke. Okay, I'll go back again with Nathan. Sure, let's do it. It's you, me, Joe, and I think Jenny on that second one?
Yep.
This time, in stark contrast to the first one, there's nobody there. Not in the bar.
No one.
And not in the comedy show section.
Yep.
I'm going to say...
You could faintly hear people bowling. So there was some people bowling. That was it.
You'd occasionally get a muffled rumble from the other side of the long wall on this side of the room because there's a bowling alley on the other side.
Oh.
In the comedy room, I'm going to say 10 people, maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
Not even that.
You don't
Definitely
think so?
Single digits.
It's
At least right
8.
away. I was going to say 5 or 6.
Okay, let's call it 6. That's our crossover.
Oh, my God. Yep. But we would soon have a 7th, but I'll leave that to you.
Oh, boy. I don't know I don't have the timeline straight in my head as to when all of this happened.
Yeah.
So I can only I'll just speak to what I can remember of my own time, and you fill in some details after me. You come in with the grout. I'll put down the tiles.
Yeah.
I go up there, and there's 6-ish people and a policeman officer. Full, got the whole gear on, the big vest that he's got his fingers in. Talking to a crying woman. And not at the back of the room, not in the other part of the bar, 8 feet from the stage.
Amazing.
Right along the left-hand wall, crying lady, policeman officer, 5 other people.
Yeah.
No one laughing.
Burst into the show about 4 minutes before showtime. Burst through a side door sobbing about her boyfriend. He's a piece of shit. And who was in the bowling area. He was it's a small town, so those people recognize her. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, whatever your name is. And then he bursts in. Do you remember that part of it?
Nope.
Yeah, he fucking came in like, get in the car, Rhonda. And he's wearing bowling shoes. and now like there's some big old boys from the pool tables come down and get between him and fucking Rhonda. And they're fucking, he's like, God damn it, if this is your last chance, I'm going home, Rhonda. And fucking, all of this is happening and like fucking, and then finally they get him out. And now it's 90 seconds before we start the show. It's fucking chaos. Get him. I remember this fucking lady's like, "Oh, why aren't you guys starting the show?" It's like, what the fuck do you think we're not starting the show? We're just a domestic dispute. The cops are here.
Yeah.
And then finally it's just like, well, the cops aren't leaving. I guess we gotta do this fucking comedy show.
Yeah. So, unbeknownst to me, 90 seconds before the comedy show started, there was a full-on domestic in the parking lot. And then this lady is cut to me. Like, I think it was Jenny and then me. So, like, Jenny went up and then I went up. Cut to me on stage. 5 people staring, not laughing. Everyone super uncomfortable because there is a police officer or a sheriff, whatever flavor of cop he was, taking a statement from a loudly crying woman 8 feet from the stage. Like, if I had a broom, I could have reached out and touched her with it.
She was in between you and the audience. That's what you want.
Yep. She's in between me and the other 5 people and hard crying, both hands over the face. And I'm not making fun of that lady because fuck that guy. But please do this somewhere else.
Anyway, in the goddamn squad car.
Anywhere else but here.
And at some point, that guy cop left. Because there was a good chunk of that show where she just sat there and gently sobbed, which might be more unsettling.
Yep, it was... You and Joe got that, because the cop was there for at least most of my set, if not all of it. But I remember standing at the back of the room while you and Joe each, separately did your time, and she just sat against that wall and lightly cried through the entire comedy show, sitting, like you said, in between the stage and the quote-unquote audience.
Yeah. And at one point, a female cop came in. And that was towards the end of my set. And then the waterworks began anew. Because she was there to, hey, I'm a more sympathetic shoulder to cry on. Let me know what happened. So and the lady cop's talking to the victim, and it is fucking, that's like, I was finally just getting used to the rhythm of the soft cry. So I was like, okay, I can work with it. But then now I got a whole new dance partner and I'm not ready for it. And I remember, I'm pretty sure the cop escorted her out just as Joe was wrapping up his set. It's like perfect timing. Perfect. Because I know that happened because as she was getting up, people were like getting up to like console her. So it's like a group of 5 people waddling towards the door.
That's what you
There's
want.
A comedy show going on.
Someone being consoled during a comedy show.
My God.
I like all of these shows on this list are terrible, but I can't tell you how uncomfortable it is to do 25 minutes of jokes following a legit domestic abuse situation that happened right before the show, and then the aftermath of it just ripples throughout the entire show. I have never been more uncomfortable in my life, and you're supposed to entertain, and no one here wants to be entertained. They're concerned about this lady who's weeping during the entire comedy show.
There's a chance this probably makes one of our top 6 list without the lady, without the crying lady. That was that rough. But throw her into it. Oh, and another thing we're forgetting, Jenny Lou was deathly ill.
Oh, right. Drove separately, deathly ill to do her 20 minutes on this show.
I think she was sleeping in the car before to get I was like, you weren't God, I was like, you don't have to do this, Jenny.
Trooper.
Well, I'm here.
Jenny's a trooper.
Fucking Jenny's a goddamn no-limit soldier. Holy fuck. Yeah, it's like, you do not need this. And I think Jenny was the only one that got a few laughs because some of the older women in the crowd got a kick out of. They all hated us.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of us, but oh my God.
Because we're up there talking about fucking undergut live, laugh, love tattoos or whatever the fuck we tell jokes about, while a woman they know sits next to them and cries.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is one that's like, you can't make it up. If you made it up, it would sound too fucking fake.
The absolute worst comedy show.
Yeah. Well, that one could have possibly been my number one, too. I thought about it a lot, but my number one is going to be, this is my third bar show ever. It was the Devil's Lake Speedway Bar. We had done a show that, this was the third show I'd ever done. Friday night, we'd done a show in another small town. Went fine. Small crowd, but a couple tables really loved it. So, well, look at us doing comedy. Next night, we drive out to the Devil's Lake Speedway Bar. Like, okay, wow, look at this parking lot full of cars. Probably like early March, if I had to guess. Weather was fine. I was like, look at this. Everything's coming up comedy. We like, Jesus, like we couldn't have to park a ways from the door. They had a sound system. We didn't have to fuck with any of that. That's always nice. Don't have to lug any gear. Go in, fucking place is pretty full. There's a Saturday night steak dinner. They give us steaks. We eat a good fucking meal. Like, look at this. This is going to be fun.
Showbiz, baby. This is your third show. You are so filled with optimism.
Finally getting treated like we deserve.
I made it already. What are all these dues paying I heard about?
Yeah, they're just not as talented as we are, I guess.
That
These
must
other
be
people.
It.
And the show was going to be the fucking unfortunate Josh Dulé, been on far too many of these shows. It's Josh, our friend Chase Rader, then me, and then our friend who hasn't been mentioned yet, Mitch Ryerson. Poor Mitch was going to be...
delightful.
So we're having a good time, eating a good meal. The owner's a nice dude. His wife's a nice lady. We're having a good time. And as you know, we've eaten our meal, probably like half an hour's passed. It is showtime. Like, we're going to kick this thing off in like 5 fucking minutes. And as we're sitting there, the grandpa, I'm assuming the bar owner's dad, probably in his 70s, maybe 80s, he was working the door, but also working in the kitchen. And he had this big kind of like what you'd have at like a, I don't know, like any kind of big, you know, take a little what you want, like a buffet type thing. Like, and it was a little heater of like cooked mushrooms, cooked something, and cooked onions. He had this big mound of onions. Apparently
like
no one was eating
steaks.
Onions. Yeah, for putting on your steak. He said, "Hey, you boys want all these onions?" Like kind of like as a like, "Hey, I'll hook you guys up." Like, nah, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to eat a mountain of onions before I go tell jokes. That doesn't seem like a good combo.
Yeah.
And we all politely told him no. The look of betrayal. He was like confused and then sad and then angry. Like, what? Why are you not gonna the onions? But they're my onions. And fucking, he was so shook and so saddened and angry. Like, he just like kind of like talked to himself and just walked away with the big heater thing. Like, well, whatever, man. And then the show's about to be, and again, we're very new at this. Like, oh, fuck, we need to turn the TVs off. And the guy's like, yeah, man, that can't happen. I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, whatever. We're feeling real good. It's going to work out. Josh goes up, and it is fucking, they are not buying what he's selling. He's up there, I think he did like fucking 10 minutes, I think, and it's not going hot. But you know what, Josh he's especially back then, very spicy boy. This is an older crowd.
As we said last week, he is sometimes too hot for TV for these types of crowds.
This is 2017, Josh. He's not the refined young man we know today.
Yeah, that was concentrated spice back then.
So he got off the stage like, oh, that was fucking brutal. Like, maybe Chase will turn it around. Chase goes up there, and they are giving him nothing. Fucking nothing. To the point, Chase lashes out, and a Chase lash out. The voice isn't raised. Let's say he was like, you guys, I was on the internet recently. He's like, you fucking people might get that in about 15 years.
Adorable. Just a little Chase jab.
They're so disinterested that they don't even register as an insult. So I'm watching Chase up there flailing away. Nothing's working. And I have the goddamn fucking ego, the hubris. I was like, you know what? it ain't going good, but I'm feeling pretty fucking good. I think I'm going to go up there and turn this
still
around.
So optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sitting there kind of in the gorilla position, ready to get up on stage. And look, I finally pay attention to the crowd. All the women there are looking at the stage. Fucking 70% of the men are like looking directly away from the stage at the TVs. I was like, huh. But you know what? It's showtime. I gotta fucking get up there. I go up there fucking just full of fucking beans and give them my fucking 10 minutes of jokes. I get nothing. And I've just burnt through 20 minutes of material in 10 minutes because I'm having a fucking panic attack. And I don't have much material. And I'm doing the things I've seen comedians do. Like, hey, who's drinking tonight? I hold my beer up. Of the 40 people in that bar, there are 4 drinks that go in the air. I look at every table. It's all tap waters and soda and coffee. There's maybe 2 people under the age of 60 in there. I'm like, what have we got ourselves into?
What is going on?
And as I'm on stage, I'm fucking like, the men are just completely captivated by the TVs. The women, every woman looked like one of my high school buddies' moms. Just pleasantly smiling at me. Just, no, look at him. He's sure, I bet that's his nicest shirt. Good for him. He's combed his hair.
And they're right, frankly.
Yep. And they had they don't know what I'm doing. Like, oh, he's not very good at singing, but he's a nice boy. We should give him our attention. Like you would get looked at in church if you're reading a boring thing in church. Though they're not going to ignore you. You're in church. You're there to present something. They will listen and they will smile. They won't register a fucking word of it, but goddamn it, they'll be present. And I'm fucking up there, and finally, against all odds, I start gaining a little fucking traction. I'm like, holy fuck, this is it. I'm getting some laughs. People are the women are at least finally starting getting more engaged. I'm like, this is it. And I finished a pretty good bit. And then I was right into my closer. I am a minute into a 5-minute bit. And I'm getting the momentum is fucking building. And then a guttural howl bursts out of every fucking man in that bar. They grab their wives' shoulders and aim them towards the fucking TVs. And I'm like, what is going on? Turns out they were only there so they could watch the state basketball championship because it was on antenna TV. Apparently they don't have antenna TV. And so they only came there to watch the game. They paid a cover charge to watch high school basketball. They were not invested in the fucking show in any way. And their team lost the state championship on a buzzer beater 3-pointer. And then this woman looks at me and says, hey, honey, if you just want to sit down for a while, we'll tell you when you can start your little skits again. You know what I did, Marlon? You know what I did?
Oh, God, did you do it?
I sat down on the edge of the stage, feet dangling, watching the highlights on the TVs with them.
With your little feet dangling like a kid on the Tonight Show.
And I looked at the same lady as is it okay? Like, she runs the joint. Like can I start again?
She's just an audience member.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm so bad at this. I get up there. I don't start the joke from scratch. I start where I quit.
Amazing.
So now all the men are like, what's he carrying on about? Why is he talking about his asshole? Fucking, this is why would you do this? And I fucking put the mic in the thing and just leave so fucking defeated. Like, holy fuck, that was bad.
Oh, God.
Mitch comes up. Mitch looks like he's just witnessed someone stomp a fucking rare rhinoceros to death.
Because that's kind of what he has seen.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. We can't just blow by the fact that just a random audience member told you to sit down for a few minutes and you did.
Because she is a mom and she could sense the terror in my heart. She saw it in my eyes. She knows I needed guidance. We'll let you know when you can tell your little stories again.
I'm not even.
I sat there and watched the highlights of the game. This is a hell of a game.
I'm not even judging you. That is the funniest fucking situation I've ever heard of.
Yeah, incredible. So now I fucking get 2 beers and sit down in the shadows and the darkness like, oh, fuck, at least it's over. Drinking my beers. But now, fucking again, beyond everything, all the men are watching and Mitch is doing okay. because they're all engaged. Fucking, they're paying attention. The sad game is over. They've had like 10 minutes to absorb that body blow. They're having a good time. Mitch is doing his thing. And then one head after another turns like they were before to what's on the TV now. And like every man, it's just, you could watch it happen. Like click, click, click. Their heads all shift 90 degrees. Now all the men are gone. The women are still engaged. Mitch is like, got 7 minutes left. It's going okay. And I shit you not, another guttural howl out of all of the men. Because I am not fucking lying. They switched over to a UND, like Frozen 5 or Frozen 4 hockey game. UND gets knocked out of the national tournament on a fucking, like a sudden death goal. And they're grabbing their wives. The wives are looking. Now Mitch is talking to the backs of all of their fucking heads again. And it's just him talking to fucking disinterested silence for 7 more minutes.
Oh.
And we get paid, get the fuck in our car. We're all shell-shocked, just sitting there. I don't know who it was that said it. Just like, we should have ate those fucking onions. The fucking onion man cursed us.
Those onions were the ugly old woman from the beginning of Beauty and the Beast. You should have let them onions in, out from the cold.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking believe it. Holy shit.
Just a silent car. We should have ate them fucking onions.
Yeah, and then drove the fuck home. Holy fuck, that was wild.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. All these years later, nothing's knocked that off the top spot.
Oh my god, yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. I've never once been told, why don't you sit down for a few minutes? We'll let you know when you can go again.
It's a good feeling.
Oh, shit.
Unreal.
Frankly, God bless that lady.
Yeah. It was something. My word.
That and that
It's
story
cathartic.
makes me... And that story makes me miss Mitch Ryerson. Mitch Ryer. Handsome Mitch. We miss handsome Mitch.
That story probably makes him not miss comedy.
Yep. I bet if he ever misses it for a second, he just thinks back to Devil's Lake. And the onions.
Oh, boy. Yeah, what a night. That's it. That's my number one.
Yeah, that's fair. That belongs at number one, I think. Holy shit.
God damn it, we did it.
So those are the shows we sometimes do. Like, there are good shows also, and there are mediocre shows also, but occasionally there's a real fucking nightmare.
I've done the math. I've probably done a little over 200 of these, and, I could have maybe thought of 5 more that were bad. So that's a pretty good batting average.
Yeah, I bet I could come up with 5 more nightmares, but yeah, these were the 10 for sure.
Yeah, these were the worst, boy.
Whew, boy, were they ever. If there's a common theme running through a lot of these, if you ever have a fucking comedy show, turn the goddamn televisions off.
Yeah, that never helps anything. Please turn the TVs off.
How many of these are directly correlated to the televisions not being turned off?
Or being too bright. A couple on this list are just too bright.
Yeah. Comedy's supposed to be listened to in the dark.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
You feel better? You feel like a weight has been lifted? A little catharsis?
Get a quick cry, do some scream therapy, and then I think there's some catharsis here. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I hope this was fun for people. It was fun for me. It was fun for me to put this list together and really think about some of these fucking nightmare gigs.
Yeah, I hope it was a good listen. It was fun to do this. There's been a lot of fun to talk and reminisce, and
we certainly got more out of it than I thought we would. Didn't expect it to run 2 episodes.
And any comics, again, if you got anything you want to tell us, message us, social media. I love hearing stories like this.
Yes, if you're a comic, send it. barleybasketusa@gmail.com. Or just Barley Basket USA on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Send us messages and fill us in on some of your fucking nightmares.
And give us permission if you want us to read it on air, because if it's funny, I think that'd be very good content. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. let us know if we can tell it on air or not. So keep that in mind when you're sending it if you need to change some names or locations.
Yeah, protect the innocent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was fun, buddy.
Yeah.
We're recording a little early. We're on a Friday night. You getting buck wild this weekend? You having fun?
I am not.
Okay.
I still am one-eyed, so I gotta take it easy for a little while here. So then look
the
out.
Eagles song.
Hot girl summer's here, and I'm gonna finally live it up.
Get outside.
Mid-July on.
Pop your shirt off.
Yeah, that time of year.
A mutual friend of ours was at Diamond Rio last night. I didn't even know Diamond Rio was coming to town until I started getting photos.
$5. You missed out, man. Diamond Rio
did.
they've got some fucking hits.
Yeah.
But I can't judge. I've missed plenty of good Ribfest shows.
Yeah, Ribfest is this weekend. The two artists left are Fuel tonight and Lit tomorrow night.
Nice.
I don't know that I'm going to make it to either of those.
Of the two, I think I'd enjoy Fuel a little more.
I think I would enjoy the music more, but I have trouble with Fuel knowing that guy's a huge piece of shit. Unless they've replaced him, I guess.
Yeah, Brett Scallions isn't in the band anymore.
Okay. Well, then maybe I could go listen to Hemorrhage.
Yeah. God, I think they were like a lot of bands. Every song was a one-word title, it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, they always struck me as like a poor man's Seether, but...
Yeah. What a title.
Right? So maybe I'll get out this weekend and eat too much barbecue.
There you go. Treat yourself to some barbecue, if nothing
Fill
else.
up on cornbread and knock over a porta potty. Real
Typical Friday.
crust punk shit.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Are you running into the porta potty, or are you in the porta potty and getting panicky and tipping over? Marlon, you're not facing the door.
Honestly, I could see either way. Either running into, entering the porta potty with such a level of urgency that you hit the back wall and knock it over.
You're trying to sit side saddle in a porta potty. Somehow do it, stand up, start pushing against a wall thinking it's a door.
Or I could see having a panic attack inside a porta potty and knocking it over.
There's too many options. The night is young.
Like tossing a cat in a bathtub, just all the energy explodes outward in every direction.
If you take off right now, you could get there right up front, get a circle pit going for Fuel.
Oh yeah, really get it spinning.
Yeah.
I genuinely could not name another Fuel song, so I'm probably gonna.
I bet they got 3 or 4 you recognize. I'm pretty confident.
What really sucks is I know for a fact that there is a Fuel song I really like, and I've been trying to think of it this whole time and can't. So that's where I'm at in life.
If you don't go see them live, just go, dive into their discography. Become a big Fuel fan.
I'm going to pull up every track listing to remember what it was. That might be my night.
There you go. Well, I'll leave you to it then.
Oh, thanks, pal. You enjoy yourself. Everybody else enjoy yourselves, too.
Bye, everybody.